All right, welcome everyone back to Jets of Time, and we have a race for you today. Welcome again. This is our Chrono Trigger Randomizer channel. I am Lord Batsy. I am joined on comms by Turdsman, and today we're gonna have a race. This is an interesting flag set. We've got a Gato Cup race, which is that's our kind of new player flag set. So we have easy items. Treasures is gonna be higher quality than normal, and also tabs are gonna be a little nicer than normal, and Specchio magic is unlocked. But we are also playing with gear rando, healing item rando, and tech damage rando. That third one is especially interesting because it means that characters' techs are going to do damage based on their randomized MP cost. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see a lot of this. This is a good showcase of a lot of the different axes that you can randomize stuff in this game. So I'm really excited to see how these four runners react to all the different all the stuff that they can't guarantee.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely, especially tech damage rando, that can turn everything on its head. You can get flare, but if it costs 2 MP, then your flare is just a full
Oh yeah.
screen flame toss, and you gotta find something else. So this is a really good mode for seeing a lot of the text that we don't normally see. Because any of the text could be that good one. And
So I am probably going to
yeah.
function a little bit as the guy who asks stupid questions on this. But how does that affect dual tech and triple tech damage? Like
Mm,
if flare ends up in the 2 MP slot, for example, does that mean Antipode 3 also kind of sucks?
Probably it does.
Okay.
Yeah, every dual and triple tech has its own formula. Actually, in the randomizer, we do have it so that the formulas, even if you're not playing with tech rando, the formulas will show on screen to show you how the two techs combine. So yeah, if flare costs 2 MP, even if you roll ice 2 for 20, you're still casting that at kind of an average of 10 maybe, so it would be like a middling at best antipode 3. Whereas yeah, you could grab Luca and Marl and they could be doing fire at 15 and ice at 12, and you've got a decent anti 1. You never know. It's going to be pretty interesting.
Huge fan of when the formula is just displayed, like when information gets displayed in these. It's always super helpful. Looks like we're getting started here though. Robo and Luca at the start.
Yes, Fitz seems to have named some of his characters after some of us, because I see that Robo is Drinks Glue, Luca's Batsy, that's my girl.
Yeah, that is something
So
you can do ahead of time too. In
yes,
It's
yeah.
kind of handy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, when you're rolling up your seeds on our website, ctjot.com, you can alter your cosmetic settings afterwards. So you can change your character's default names, which is really nice if you want to change their names, but you want to still mash through the screen.
Mhm.
That way you don't have to worry about losing time. And here we go.
So it looks like almost
Okay.
everybody going to the same market.
All right. A bit of a split. It looks like the bottom two went to Dorino, the top two went to Pori maybe. But yeah, anyhow, we're starting here with access to 600 AD as well as 1000 AD and the winged epic. So they can fly over to the east side of the map too. And everybody is probably going to kind of do slightly their own thing, but everyone's looking for ethers, shelters, heals, revives, probably mid tonics. People are going to pick up some tabs, a few of the key item checks at least. The snail stop, even if they don't buy it, they'll peek it. And then people tend to converge at the cathedral, which is where the third character is, 5-6 minutes in.
All right. Speaking of, it looks like the clone is for
Ooh,
sale at the snail stop. That's interesting because that's an early sign of the direction you might want to go in for your go mode.
indeed. And Honey has peeked that and not picked it up, which is a good call, because you can't actually use the clone for your Black Woman Go mode till you go to the future. So
Yeah,
we know where
there's
it is.
There's a couple pieces that do other things, like the gate key and the pendant will open up different time periods.
Mhm.
But certain things, like if there's a bent hilt there, even you might want to just maybe hold off on that in case you don't run into the rest of the pieces.
Yeah, it's definitely some players like to buy the snail staff item right off, and it looks like the lazy carpenter item, by the way, was dreamstone, so that's the other one, another one on the table. But yeah, the carpenter item does cost 9,900 gold, which is about half of what you start with, and it's always going to be there. So there are very, very few situations where I think it's truly advantageous to grab it really early. Like
Mhm.
almost you don't almost ever need it before your third character, I feel. So I think it's good to peek and run.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense because it's not necessarily going to open up anything by itself, right? It'll have to have something else with it.
Yeah, exactly. And even if it's the gate key, for me, if it's the gate key, I want to go grab character 3 and see if they also benefit from the gate key.
Mm.
This is a magic unlock flag set, but if your magic is locked, the gate key will open end of time for you, and then so I want to check if like I can get other characters I can take to Specchio at that point.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of
Uh,
sense. Like, yeah, and we see, speaking of that kind of consideration to routing, we're seeing a lot of our players kind of plan their stops at towns also around tabs that they can pick up there. So there's, like, I want
mhm.
to say, like 2 speed tabs you can access to, and then a bunch of power and magic ones.
Yes, several nice permanent stat boosts at the beginning, which, depending on the power you start with, can be very helpful. We're going to start seeing that in a second here. Fitz and PhilosoRay have gone into Guardia Forest to start their grind. And Fitz has done one fight already, so after he finishes this battle, he should get 2 techs on each character.
Yeah, picking good fights in here too to maximize the amount of time it's going to take to, you're probably going to have to hit something once or twice, regardless of which of the enemies in here it is. So good
Hmm.
call to pick the ones that are worth more.
Yep. Okay, Area Bomb, Rocket Punch on Robo, and Flare and Protect on Luca.
Wow.
So that's interesting
Well, I
because
guess
we
maybe wow.
we don't know what it costs. Yeah, we'll see in a second, hopefully.
So yeah, looks like PhilosoRay already heading into the cathedral here. Possibly also got those techs. It looks like everybody took a trip through the everybody took a
Mhm.
trip through the forest there.
Yeah, the minorly good news is that even if Flare, it's a 4 MP Flare that is pretty weak. That will at least still wipe this fight. It should wipe everything in Cathedral, but it'll quickly get outclassed.
Yeah, I guess that's interesting. That makes Luca not as effective on big bosses, but she still has a pretty good screen clear for random encounters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Marl's here.
Okay, interesting. So we've got a team Slowpoke out front here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, this team they are the slowest 3 characters in the game. All of them have buffs in the randomizer, but they're still not particularly quick. Other than that, they have great synergy, but in this game, speed is king, so you definitely have to watch out.
Yeah, the speed stat is particularly
Mm.
handy in this one. So who do it looks like PhilosoRay is heading to the back. We are seeing some more of that fun. You get some information in the window when you pick up an item. Big fan.
Yeah.
Who would you be
Hmm.
getting rid of for whoever's in the back there in this case?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends a lot on who's in the back and what these techs are, especially with tech damage rando. I think in a normal seed without tech damage rando, I'm inclined to let Robo go because antipodes are wonderful and overpowered. Um, but it really, really depends because, if you get Ayla back there versus Chrono back there, you might want to pair them better with Luca or Marl, and it's going to depend on the techs that the characters pick up, and if we can find like a high-powered one quickly. So it's really, I think, up in the air.
Yeah, it looks like they've been picking up a couple of weapons. I think there was a flash blade in there, so frog showing up would be a pretty easy insert. Although it looks like PhilosoRay is heading out of the cathedral now.
Yep, grabbing that Naga at bromide and running.
So possibly happy with this team he's got here.
Yeah, and you know, a slow team can be frightening, but there is the Robo's ribbon somewhere out there that does have speed on it for Robo. You could get a tab and suit for Luca. Something could be dropping speed tabs. We do have easy items on, so finding speed tabs as treasure is at least as likely as it's ever going to be. So there's a chance that you can get this team up and running.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can, it is really good. You know, if you can mitigate the speed factor, then I'm happy to not replace any of them.
Yeah, I guess considering you get speed tabs right at the start too, I think the risk reward can be kind of high. Like if you don't find any other ones, then you might have to sacrifice your accessory slot or something to make them go quick. But
yeah, it can be
some
tricky.
speed on these characters makes them pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got antipodes for damage. You've got Robo with like Uzi Punch and Robo Tackle for physical damage, and he's got a spread heal move.
Mm-hmm.
They've got everything you need. All right. Got Fitz peeking Xenon Bridge while phone pops into Hecarim Cave.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody went to the back.
Nope, not at this point. Okay. There's the Chrono Trigger on Xenon Bridge, and that goes with the clone. That is 2 out of 3 pieces of Black Omen Go mode, leaving only the pendant. And, well, we know, based on the logic of Jets of Time, that in these first checks, the gate key or the pendant must be available. So we're gonna see one of them. We just don't know necessarily which, yeah.
I think we've got 2 key item spots left. And we haven't seen yet, anyway. Hecarim Cave and Denadoro Mountains, I believe.
Hecarim Cave, Denadoro Mountains, and...
I might be forgetting one?
Sunken Desert, because we have Robo, so we can complete Sunken Desert. Yep.
Which, yeah, depending on where Ice 2 falls on Marl's tech list, that could be more possible. Get a bunch of levels in there.
Yeah, indeed. Right, most everyone filing into Hecarim Cave at this point. Not a bad call, because that flare is powerful enough to wipe Hecarim Cave.
Mm-hmm.
Given that it's Luca, that flare might still even be enough to do like Mount Woe or something, but that would be close. I think that's a near one.
Yeah, considering she seems to be doing about 500 to 800 damage at level 9, I think we don't have to worry too much about that flare.
Yeah, and I know some of these enemies have low defense, but I know that the stuff on Mount Woe isn't super defensive either. I think it's just fast, so you never know.
Yeah, they hit hard, but they don't have a bunch of HP.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
I missed
dropping elixirs.
Okay, that's what it was.
Not bad. We prefer megas, but
of course.
Regular's fine.
So, all right, let's see what Fitz has to deal with. Slash.
Okay. We got a... Yeah. It is regular slash, so unfortunately, it's not the version of slash with lower magic defense, but this is probably still doable.
Oh, hey, I didn't even think about that, but Marl's got life 2 on her second slot. That's just a benefit if that's less MP then, right?
Basically, yeah. Like,
it does what it does.
If it's really low, I mean, then you might not get quite as much of a revive as you want, but it's probably still gonna almost always be better than the item, So, yeah.
Okay.
Life, yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought life 2 was just their backup full.
Actually, you might be right, and I can't remember if it is automatically full or if it's very high. But if it's full, then yeah, it wouldn't matter. It has been a while since I've played, and you can tell. But yeah, no, that's true, and that's a really good roll, especially this slash fight for Fitz. If he's got that on Marl, which I didn't see yet, but Slash
Yeah,
starts
that's where I
doing
saw
this really unpleasant counterattack, so I would feel good having that as a backup, just in case. Because this can be a tough fight, but I think Fitz will be glad to have powered through it. Yeah, that's... Okay. And yep, perfect. That's what you do.
Oh, and Rust Tyranno at the end of Hecarim Cave.
Yeah, Rust Tyranno, okay. So we can see another Gato Cup flag, the new player flags, is that we have the boss sight scope on. So we can see its HP 3,675. Normally this is 3,100, but Rust Tyranno always has increased hit points for its spot.
Yeah, it's to still kind of indicate, hey, this is an endgame boss.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, Protect coming in pretty handy against this this slash fight, trying to focus all of the attacks out of Robo so that Robo takes all the counter attacks. Seems to be working so far.
Yeah, that is a great strategy.
And Phone taking care of the boss.
Yep, nice job there.
Doing big damage with that fire punch.
Yeah, indeed. I hadn't seen how much that rocket punch is costing, but might be a decent one.
I think it was 4.
Okay, so I think that's more than normal. I think that one is 2.
And that was the pendant that Taban has there.
Oh, we are in no mode, guys. We're in no mode.
Boy.
I don't think it's go mode for anybody, but if Fitz goes to Hecarim Cave, which like I wouldn't be surprised. It's I mean, it's a really lovely early check.
Yeah.
Then I think Fitz has everything or knows where everything is. I imagine everybody checked Snail Stop.
Yeah, I think everybody at least looked at it.
You know. And yep, Phone heading down here to oh, this is exciting. Oh, yeah, man.
Phone is about to see into the future here.
This is really interesting.
Ooh.
Oh, I think Phone may not have gone to... Okay. Phone didn't visit Xenon Bridge to talk to the Knight Captain first. So he triggered the other cutscene.
Okay, it looks like he's going through with it anyway. He's not going to get discouraged, which is very good, because this is the... Phone and Fitz are probably going to learn this at around the same... I guess Phone will know it earlier, but... Yeah, Fitz is heading for the cave.
This is very interesting. Oh man, it can be wild to get go mode this early because you're sitting here like, but I'm level 10.
Right, yeah.
You know, like
like, baby, I can't kill a space thing. That's
everyone is at least gonna have to unlock future first, so that's a required check that's gonna at least give people time to, you know, think about their next one.
So yeah, there's probably going to be... Well, I guess that it might end up being in... oh, shoot. Pendant leads to the future.
Yes.
So, yes, that's... they are going to have to go through with that. And let's see if anybody just takes the pendant to the future straight up and decides not to do Xenon Bridge, because you already done Hecarim Cave and you're feeling pretty good about yourself.
Gosh. Yeah, it's entirely possible.
Yeah, HunnyDoo about to get their pendant.
Yeah, man. If you got to the future this early, you know, I would be tempted to jump into Aris Dome, perhaps, because there is a lot of treasure down there.
Yeah.
And, you know, even though it's an extra deck.
Yeah, because one of the other flags that's on is the early pendant charge. So the second that you complete the, I think it's when you first get to the future after completing the trial stuff, right?
Yes, correct.
And yeah, you can just
Mhm.
pop open any of those doors you want.
Yeah, which is very helpful because in Jets of Time, basically all of Zeal is an endgame area, so we don't want to make you walk all the way to the Mammon Machine.
That's true. And then back, like, oof.
Yeah, because you you would just have to leave.
Oh, all right, looks like HunnyDoo heading into possibly doing the Xenon Bridge as well.
Ooh,
So also going to get the good news.
yeah.
The only one left is PhilosoRay. We gotta send all of our energy to PhilosoRay to make him want to do the Xenon Bridge this time.
Indeed. But who knows? Who knows what's on the desert? For all we know, it's the gate key. There could be
That's true.
another like equally nutty path.
Yeah, like gate key, and then just the full Masamune at the end of it or something.
Ah, yes. If I started seeing sword pieces, then I
Yeah.
would definitely start thinking about like, was Frog behind Cathedral? Should I be looking for him?
Ooh, yeah, and it's still early
Yeah.
enough in the seed to have a thought like that too.
Yeah, for sure. No, with Marl and Robo up front, it's convenient because it's true. They all know that they don't need the character back behind the Cathedral for unlocking anything except perhaps Megasus, but they don't have the other pieces to that yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's no real need. It would really just be if you needed another stronger character.
Yeah, which it looks like things are going pretty okay. Running into something that is immune to magic might pose a bit of a problem, but yes, PhilosoRay is heading straight to the future.
Excellent. Oh, this is so exciting.
Yeah,
And
okay, let's...
yeah, uh, stuff immune to magic could be worrisome, but I know that Robo has at least his rocket punch. Um, well, Robo is never bound by locked magic, but Robo can get Uzi Punch. Robo can get Robo's Tackle. There's some good chances out there that you can get some damage.
And I think a lot of the runners picked up Shock as they went through Hecarim Cave. That was the
Yes.
next one on the list. I did not see how much it costs, though.
Yeah. Got Fitz coming into Restreamer. Maybe we can look at a couple numbers here.
Okay, Life 2 is expensive, 15 for that one.
Okay, Fire Punch was a 4 and a 2, so that's not super strong. I saw one of the Lucas learn Fire 2. Haven't seen how strong that Fire 2 is. Strong Fire 2 would basically be the thing you need to finish this seed.
Yeah, that'd be a very nice replacement for Flare.
Yeah, and Fire 2 goes into lots of nice double techs as well. Like Fire Tackle uses Fire 2, Blaze Kick if you pick up Ayla.
Ooh.
And
I only thought of that in the negative. I did not think of that in the positive. But yeah, having like Fire and Ice, yes, Fire Sword 2 would be crazy strong.
nice dodging the masks there by PhilosoRay.
That is a very interesting aspect to this particular randomizer too. Is that part of this skill and learning it is kind of figuring out the pixels to be standing on to not have to deal with the fights, especially those shields. I hate those things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the prison ones, I think the character shadow is the most accurate way to get through the shields. I just
Yeah,
like to, hope I have 1,000 AD character because they're all about the same size.
right, yeah. Yeah, Robo can get there just fine for some reason. I also like the little tiles that you can see on the wall texture. Like you can sort of line up with one of those, then you know you're good and just go up. Looks like PhilosoRay is doing the right thing.
We're gonna save Fritz. who is, of course, the ancestor of OneFreeFitz.
Yeah, we got to make sure this keeps going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and actually, I think this is a good call. The reward for saving Fritz is 10 mid-ethers. We don't know how strong the mid-ethers are necessarily, and you need to have Chrono in your party to pick them up. And we haven't seen him yet, but we also know that this is a seed with like an open go mode already.
Right, yeah.
And you know, a lot of the times you can probably, I like to save Fritz because it's the right thing to do, but a lot of the times you do with this seed might be one where you those groceries.
Yeah, it is nice that there's the little there is a material reward for it. But hey, we're trying to be heroes here.
Exactly.
Look at that. We're flying around in a spaceship, going through time. I'm gonna save this guy. It's fine. Save the animals. I'm coming down hard on it.
Exactly.
There's a shot coming out. It looks like Fitz is heading into the desert to see what's going on down there, while Phone is going straight to the future.
Yeah, here we go.
It looks like Phone also does not have the Chrono Trigger.
That's right. The Chrono Trigger was... Did Phone may have reset out of Xenon Bridge.
Oh, maybe. So, okay, that's interesting. We'll get two different players heading into the future and trying to figure out what's going on in there.
Yeah, okay. Drixku says he has... Okay, we are updated on the tracker. That makes sense.
Alrighty.
Cool. Thank you very much. And yeah, this is interesting. I mean, oh man. What I will say about the Queen Zeal route is that it's a little safer Team Slowpoke than Lavos. Lavos. Zeal, especially if you can gear that's soak a dark gear, even a Hex Mist if you to, that could help.
And we'll see what they're going to get access to. It looks like we got a couple pretty good items coming into some of these. Got a Rainbow Helm there. I think Phone picked up a Siren.
Rainbow Helm, Rainbow Sickle also in the...
Hey.
Atropos outside the prison. Which is a pretty good roll because, you know, this spot can be a little something nasty. You're stuck there, but she's not too bad.
Yeah, depending on how much she's able to heal, it tends to be a pretty big factor in this one. But
that's true.
She's not too bad.
Yeah, her entire fight is scripted actually, so she's only going to heal herself twice. It's going to be there's the one early on, and then she does it again right before she starts just overheating a whole bunch.
Alright, doing decent damage, but I guess nobody's picked up a multi-target heal just yet.
Yeah, Robo should get that eventually, and luckily since it's a healing spell, even if it rolls kind of low, it's probably going to be, like, usable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like 300 on everybody is still pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Fitz downstairs in the desert, a swallow. Oh, there's so much nice equipment for people we haven't seen. Hyper Ether.
Oh.
Ooh, a Siren +2.
Just picking up all the stuff and then heading out.
Not a bad call. Took a couple of fights, I think, to level up, which I understand because I'm sure that the level is not fired.
Oh.
Which is lower than usual, but
yeah. You know, it looked like the same with Shock. Shock was also at 6.
Yeah. That's interesting. So that means, like, wiping a lot of the stuff on the Omen might be a little bit out of reach. And on the other hand, this might be one of the seeds where you want to be taking a lot of the fights anyway, so maybe it won't be a huge time loss between taking fights and not, but very
So
interesting.
something I noticed that Phone was doing, there was a siren pickup in one of
Yes.
the chests in there, and they just popped a rage ring on Marl and let her go to town, and she was doing like 600 damage a shot. It was
Yep.
actually not too bad.
Yeah, that's not a bad call. That being, and if she doesn't have something better to contribute damage to, that is absolutely a strategy you can use.
It was a little bit riskier, since I think PhilosoRay at least was using her as healing. Took a little bit longer, but Phone got there later and ended up beating the boss a couple seconds earlier.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, gotta pop the door open.
First treasure door. Let's see what we got. This is going to be very important.
Speed tab.
So another siren white mail and a speed tab. Yeah, that's helpful.
Love you talk to the guy and then you run really far away from him. Like, yeah, no, I'm still buying. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it from over here.
Yeah, buying that lumen robe, not a bad idea. It's a decent piece of armor. Okay, got a lava spawn down here in the desert. Which one is it? It's the elder spawn. Okay.
Kind of a tough one. Not a lot of this party's big damage is multi-target, so a couple of regular attacks coming out.
There is one trick you can use that if you've got the elder spawn as opposed to the regular lava spawn, which is the elder spawn's shell counterattack will only hit one of your party members, whereas the baby lava spawn hits all three. So you can use the strategy where you control who to be hitting its shell. Elder spawn only. Save your butt.
Yeah, that's handy. Looks like Phone picking up some items in Lab 16. Didn't see a whole lot of big stuff there, but PhilosoRay running into Magus.
Oh yeah, okay.
Doing a little dance.
Could be good. Depending on his techs especially.
Alright. Opting.
Yeah, these labs can have all right treasure in them. It varies some, so sometimes it's...
They're pretty close too. That wasn't a very long trip that Phone took.
Alright, Elder Spawn is down on Fitz's screen.
Yeah, this is another curiosity, because Fitz has the pieces, so they know where they're supposed to go. They're opting to go down into this desert. I'm assuming just to get stronger, essentially. Like, hey, I'll take it, whatever levels and items I get out of this, because obviously I'm not, like you said earlier, I'm level 9 right now.
Yeah, I think partly for strength and see, okay, get one more key item. What's it going to be, and will that open up a different path that's viable? And then if this isn't anything interesting, he may just go back to future, or to future at all. He may not have rushed it yet. Oh yeah, Beauty and Discovery pointing at it, in which I would not blame him.
Oh,
Please, that would be really helpful.
Be incredible.
Yeah, 3 speed, 10 magic defense, and it gives them like sunshades, I think. Yeah.
Especially if that is the thought too of I'm gonna need more levels, and a lot of players will go to that desert anyway to try to grind out usually just the regular fights, and then they leave the boss down there. But it's a popular spot to level up early on in the game too.
Yeah, it's pretty good for experience.
Okay.
Hey, look at that! It is the gate key.
Well, I guess at the very least that means that it's not in the future.
That is true. The gate key is not in the future, and who knows where that ruby knife is? It could be very close.
And Fitz is deciding, I'm going to pretend that that didn't happen, and I'm just going to go ahead and go through with this.
I've seen both Phone and PhilosoRay pop back into Hecarim Cave.
Yeah, I'm not certain. Oh, okay. Going
I'm
after this
thinking,
chest.
yeah, it does have 2 items in it, and lack of treasure, the relative might be why. That wallet is
Well, it's not terribly exciting.
white mail. Could be worse. Yeah, the sealed chests are very hit or miss. You can get great stuff, you can get not so great stuff.
The white mail isn't bad. I've been seeing a lot of it pop up in those item boxes, so it might not be quite as exciting as it otherwise would be.
Yeah, for sure. No, I suppose like if these players, if one of these players, or rather, if I'm one of these players and I'm thinking well ahead, I'm worried about the things that Queen Zeal's gonna hit me with, and she does do some lightning damage, and the white mail could be useful for that, but I would rather see water or shadow because I'm much more likely to live the attack lightning damage as moon armor, zodiac cape, just to get some magic defense on your characters.
Yeah, getting or shield or barrier, I think, is what it's called. The green one that
Yes, barriers.
reduces magic. That can be the difference between winning or losing once you get to the end boss as well.
Absolutely can. It just takes a percentage of the damage off, and sometimes that's what you need. And there were barriers for sale in the future too.
Hey, that's handy. We got Phone doing the full circuit, pulling every single item out of this pendant as it possibly can.
Yeah, this is, I mean, gosh, 34 or 35 minutes in, it would be completely normal to not know where go mode is in the least at this point, but we've all seen it.
Yeah, you might have 2 pieces of one thing and 1 piece of another, but just nope, everybody went the right way at the right time.
Okay. Now that he's opened the pyramid, probably going to come out and save the game. In case we don't like what we see. We got PhilosoRay opening these chests upstairs. Gold earring. That's not bad. Dreambow.
I believe Phone decided against it because I think he'd already found a couple in some of the other sealed chests. Oh, flea vest. Okay. I mean, that's not.
It's something.
It's not the other thing.
Yep. All right. And we've meanwhile got HunnyDoo going into Genodome, which now this is one of the best places to level up right now without going play. You're gonna need, Flare or Fire 2, or well, Fire 2 didn't quite wipe the encounters, so it's gonna be a little slower going than normal. Flare might. I'm not sure. I'm never sure how the math works because I know that base power is much greater than, but then switching the MP value, so it's possible there is still more. But the XP and TP in Genodome, you will always come out of their stack.
Yeah, lots of multiple targets in a fight. I think that's my understanding, at least, is that that's the signifier of this is a good one to do. It's like when there's 4 or 6 guys that you're blowing up.
lots of targets close to end game. Those are things to look for sure. And I mean, there's a tab of every type in there, and that's useful for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, still looking for as many speed tabs as they can get their hands on.
Mm-hmm. Anyone finds a spot that's just dropping speed tabs, they can go and finish the game. They'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. I did have one once where they were dropping from rubbles.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
So that was like, okay, we're going to Mount Woe.
It's like tossing the coin every time because you don't know if you'll kill it, but
Well, yes.
you have to try.
It was pretty like, come on, man, come on. But every time it dropped, like, oh, it feels so good.
Right, PhilosoRay is on Zenith. That means everybody is in this.
All right, that's interesting. Did something like went to the future, but didn't really do anything unnecessary up there. You know, like looked around, grabbed some new stuff, and then thought like, hey, you know what's fast? Xenon Bridge.
Yep.
So yeah, I kind of like this. Like any possible like penalty that PhilosoRay was going to end up with for not knowing the path that everybody else was taking is pretty much gone after this boss fight.
Yeah, this is definitely evening out, given that he's got the go mode now, and everybody else is like, I can't black open like this. What? No.
Right, yeah.
So like, we're all going around looking for weapons.
Like,
yeah, I think Phone does have a rainbow weapon for this. There was one in the desert.
Ooh. Oh yeah, the rainbow scythe.
Mm-hmm. Which is...
It's like, yeah, sure. Welcome to the party, Magus.
Hey.
Gonna be doing something a little different than normal.
Mm-hmm.
Fitz showing off that all you got to do to get around that particular fight is just slow down a little bit.
Just walk. Yep.
See it. PhilosoRay finishes and gets
berserk him.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, no, the only thing is that once you get to Zeal, that's when it gets scary, because her hands, attacking the hands is not usually very productive, but I mean, hey, we all flip coins and roll the dice.
Yeah. We are playing a randomizer, so we'd like that stuff.
Ayla down in the burrow. Not likely to get picked up because we haven't seen a single sword piece.
Interesting information to have, though. So we have not seen who is at the back of the cathedral or the dactyl nest.
Right. Yep, one's Chrono, one's Frog.
But not. This team seems to be doing okay. I don't think any of our runners are hurting for too big of a change up. It does look, Phone does have that that scythe. I believe Fitz probably would have picked it up as well then, since they went through that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Fitz did pick it up. Yeah. Right. Are we officially heading onto Death Peak with Fitz?
Ooh.
Oh. Well, we went on, and then we because we have to go to Keeper's Dome first.
Oh, right. Gotta do the thing.
Because nobody forgets to set up things ever. We're all perfect.
So this is interesting. There is a lot of XP up on Death's Peak. If Fitz is willing to run into a lot of those weird little...
Yeah, the little eggs.
Yeah, little nasty egg guys, yeah. Depending on how many of those Fitz wants to destroy, might be doing okay with levels by the end of this.
Yeah, the crackers are one of the most efficient grinding spots in the entire game. Possibly the most efficient repeatable thing in the entire game, except for that one in the Ocean Palace, which is repeatable while you're there, but once you leave, it's... And Black Omen has tons of XP and TP. The bosses are ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true too. So yeah, I guess if you're happy with your equipment, then that would be there'd be plenty of stuff in the way between you and the end for you to be able to get those levels you need. I guess unless you end up with like phone is in an interesting situation. I'm curious to see if anybody else. Okay, looks PhilosoRay also picked up that Magus.
Yeah. Okay.
Not sure. Well, I guess they're going to get the scythe here at the end of this.
Yeah. Comes the wind. See if Fitz is going to pick up the swag tab or not. Swag tab. Yeah, swag tab.
Excellent.
Yep. The trick is to, we're talking about looking at pixel pattern. First, don't talk to the first doll. Its box is... So just leave the doll there. And then the second tree, just memorize where on the ground it is. Like, where on the x-axis you need to be. So you can just zip over to get the tab, and then you can zip straight over, because the diagonal movement's pretty quick.
And nailing it on that tree, too. Just slowing down right in time.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I don't know why. Hey, good job. that one messes me up pretty bad.
Yeah, Fitz is doing great so far. Actually, every encounter on Death Peak is skippable. But some of them are pretty tricky.
Yeah, definitely showing off that Fitz knows how to get around all of these fights. All right, HunnyDoo heading back into the Genodome. Went through the chute and is going to just take these fights again.
Just
looks like
taking the fights again, more grinding.
Yeah, just primarily a grinding spot. Not gonna bother going through the end of it, which makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, this would be perfect. Great place to catch some crackers. You can get up to, I think, 5 in one, but there could only be 8 on this. So if you get 4, basically fine.
Mm. So yeah, we'll see how much. Can't quite one-shot them with a character, but thankfully, Shock and Fire 2 are both kind of cheap, so
yeah,
as long as both of those characters get up, then.
Phone also on Death Peak now, picking up the swag tab as well.
Alright, PhilosoRay gonna take on their Lavo spawn.
Oh, lovely little skip there by Phone. That's the expert version. Going like up diagonally behind the cracker.
Ooh, yeah.
Meanwhile, Mother Brain here at the top of the peak. We're never happy to see Mother Brain, but at least Death Peak has a relatively low hit point value. It's only like 5,000 or something. So, we're way happier to see her here than we would be in the back of the Black Omen. That's for darn sure.
Yeah. This one can be a huge roadblock, depending on how you're doing for damage.
Mm-hmm.
As these displays healer, as you're seeing, but you got to leave one, because if you get rid of the whole set, then Mother Brain will start throwing out some extremely nasty multi-target attacks.
Yep, she goes berserk and just starts spamming a very powerful. I think that cranks up to It's scary. It's really not something to be really sure. Fitz got lucky earlier. Displays are vulnerable to status, so you can stop them. You like that very.
Yeah, very nice.
Luca then got confused and shot the. But there's still one left, and Fitz is. Because that's the other scary thing about Mother Brain is you have to leave displays that she berserk, but she'll make you go berserk, and then your characters will totally shoot that display because what do they? That's
yeah, they don't know any better. So yeah, Fitz going through a stock of heals. Not necessarily for any reason other than to just keep that last display alive, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, nice shot from Marl there, 1244. Wow. Sometimes in this mode, that's the damage.
Yeah, Fitz not hurting for single target damage anymore. It doesn't have access to the Rainbow Scythe, but still doing... Marl's doing pretty good.
Yeah, I think that Siren must have like a quadruple critical or something on it, maybe, looking at these numbers, but that's fantastic. All right.
Oh.
You know, push the blank, climb the blank.
Yeah.
For anyone not aware, no matter what boss sprite is there, push it all the way up and all the way to the right, and you're good.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to get too fancy with it.
No, you don't have to like line them up or anything. Just push it all the way and you're good.
All right. Fitz activating the egg. I have no idea what this is actually like. Like, I understand what's going on in the game, but like, what in the world does this look like?
Yes. Yes, first the sun will eclipse.
Yeah, then the egg flew up, and then it exploded, and then the sun turned into an eclipse, and then we got teleported back in time. Question from the chat about Fitz using tabs. I have not seen a whole lot of that just yet. I might have missed it. I am trying to keep an eye on a lot of the action, but
here's what I'll say is we'll find out soon if he hasn't, because if he hasn't, those laser guards at the front of the Black Omen are gonna be a problem.
Right.
So let's say I really hope so. I'm sure he has. I have faith in.
Oh yeah, Fitz knows what he's doing. But I think in general, regardless, you're probably gonna shove some tabs in your mouth before you go into the Black Omen anyway.
Absolutely. Are we doing doing another conveyor belt sequence?
I guess further proof that it's not a bad idea. Everybody's doing it.
This is not a bad grind spot whatsoever.
No. Yeah, they got plenty of multi-target stuff. Probably still going to need 2 characters to do it, but...
Yeah, unless someone's picked up like a magic seal or something real good, probably you're gonna need 2.
Napalm is 20 MP.
Oh, well that's great. That 20 MP Napalm is gonna come in real handy against the final bosses, because especially like Queen Zeal, you only want a single target. That's what you look for.
Yeah, and thankfully her hands are far enough apart that you're not gonna accidentally hit it.
Napalm won't hit them, no. I think even Mega Bomb won't hit them. Thing like super full screen or like Falcon hit would hit most things that are area, I think. Phone has brought up the Omen, and PhilosoRay and HunnyDoo have begun to scale Death Peak.
Okay, so phone has not... Oh, never mind. There's the tabs. Yeah, shoving a bunch of them into Batsy.
Delicious, delicious tabs. Magic tabs.
And yeah, phone heading into the Black Omen.
Here we are. All right, so with Phone's party, Magus should be fast enough for the laser. Yeah, it's really just Team Slowpoke I worry.
Yeah, gave Magus all of his speed tabs, and I think all of the power tabs as well.
That might be the thing to do with that weapon. You know.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Unless we find a crisis arm or something. Robo doesn't look too set up to do a lot of physical damage. We'll see. Black Omen has so many tech points that we probably will at least see most of the tech roll in. But whether they'll be useful is completely different, so
yeah,
we never know.
Because a lot of the we've seen a handful of what we're looking for. I guess getting heal beam at some point would be quite handy.
Yeah.
But Luca has the thing she's probably going to do at the end of the game if there isn't a like fire tackle or something ends up being ridiculously good.
Yeah, depending if we got like a really good robo tackle, then that might be worth it.
And meanwhile, HunnyDoo taking on some crackers as well. Oh, deciding only the one's good.
Mm-hmm.
So it has been a little bit since I've ran the Gato Cup. Remind me what the magic number is that you want to be for levels by the time you get to like the end of the game.
So I would say that it can depend on the player, but for me, the magic number is probably about 30 for Lavos, 28 for Queens.
Okay.
Passes like a certain standard, and if my gear's not good enough, I gotta. But it really can depend. I mean, you can do the Black Omen at much lower. It might be a little touch and go, but it's doable. You know, some people like to be. Zeal?
Okay, so like if you've had a chrono with rainbow or what, like, you know, you've got a bunch of incredible gear that can kind of alleviate the need for some levels.
Yeah, for sure. Especially as you play the game a lot more, you'll kind of know, depending on damage you have from your techs, you know, how much damage are you going to be doing, you know, per enemy cycle, basically, and are you going to need to play extra cycle, or, you know, based on how quick you are, the damage you do, are you pretty sure you're just going to be okay? You know, you start to remember that stuff, and yeah, given that, that's where you can get with especially the Black Omen. But so it's going to be really interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, because now Fitz has been going around and grabbing items from a lot of the sealed chests in 1600 AD that I think all three of our other players had done earlier on.
Yeah, I think everybody to some extent has made a treasure run.
So yeah, I think most of our players have all done about the same things. I know I saw Fitz had Magus on the bench. It doesn't look like he's really going to use them, but
yeah. And that's understandable. He might be hoping for some better text to roll in on Robo. Robo does have good synergy with both Luca and Marl, so if the right combination of text rolls in, that could be better than the like fallback of Magus the rainbow sickle that we've been talking about.
Mhm.
But, until we get the text, we don't know for sure. So it's just like, where do you want to put your chips?
It's looking like Magus does have a kind of inexpensive Dark Mist. I want to say it was 8.
Okay.
Ice 2. So Magus's techs aren't really looking like they're going to change the way that Phone or Fitz or anybody would want to play.
Yeah, I think with him it's just going to be like, there's a chance he'll roll something with a nice high number. And if he does, that'll be nice and useful, but we'll see. He at least does have a lot of spread attacks, so he has a lot of chances to roll high numbers on things that can hit lots of targets. Pretty much everything in Black Omen soaks Shadow and Lightning, though. You want Fire and Water. Most people will tell you Fire, and in our party we don't have that. But if you have, like, a as well.
All right, we got Phone making their way up here. Not taking many of the fights along the way, just sort of the ones you can't really avoid running into or can't run away from. Let's see if Fitz does the same. Yeah, Fitz is also running from him. Although I suppose now that I'm thinking about it, everybody went into Genodome, so...
That's true. Most everyone's got a lot of levels. Ooh, a Neons. So this is the point where if I'm playing, I now feel a lot better.
Right.
Yeah. Those 2 items alone. Special. An Eon's absolutely above that, like, line of can lock. So I'm always happy to see one without explanation.
Yeah, it's always nice to find later on confirmation that, like, okay, I was right to make this risk.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, HunnyDoo making his way through the Black Omen also. HunnyDoo with coming in with much higher level characters than everybody else.
Yes, HunnyDoo spent the most time in Genodome, I think, of anybody.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see how much of an advantage that gives him.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't catch much of what the news had in their shops, but doesn't look like... I think Phone sold a bunch of the white males that he's been picking up throughout the game, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I
him.
saw what he spent the money on.
Yes. The goons, unfortunately, will absorb shock.
Those goons.
Fire 2 will do it, though.
I'm sure it's trite to comment on these things with this rando at this point, but, like, that's such a good name for whatever that thing is.
Indeed. And yeah, we had a literal jet seed today. I think that as commentators we knew about possibly.
Yeah, I want to say minute 18.
Somebody,
I think.
Yeah, because different people found the pendant in the, but somebody very quickly. Oh, it's been very exciting.
Yeah, and in general, everybody's kind of been following the same path, but at different times. So there's a lot of similar equipment floating around, a lot of similar character options.
Mm-hmm.
So it is really interesting to see how, because Phone is using, we're popped on that scythe, but I have not seen Magus do a whole lot of regular attacks.
Yeah, indeed. And maybe we'll see that when some of the bosses are coming up. Most of these battles that Phone will want to be taking on Omen, Magus can help with at least Ice 2.
That's true.
But maybe we'll get to see that soon. Okay,
Yeah, it looks like a
Fitz,
lot of speed tabs
room.
dropping from these things too.
Yeah, like here it comes. Ooh, a Terra arm plus 4. Oh wow. Okay, so I know, but for those who are, that is going to be fan.
Yeah. Plus
Now.
4.
That's great. I mean, that's almost. I mean, almost straight up more welcome than a cross arm.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't gotta fiddle with it. Works out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be a wonderful find for we got 2 robo users still here.
Yeah. Fitz and HunnyDoo, yeah.
Power tab. Lots of tabs in this Black Omen too.
Yeah. Great treasure. Is the commentary glitching out? Well, I haven't heard anything, but you'll have to let us know. We can keep an eye on that.
I did think I heard some like cutting in and out a little bit. I don't know if that's happening on my end though.
Yeah, it could be. I have no idea.
Ooh, okay. I think we saw another skip there on phone side, aligning sprite with that diamond, the symbol inside that diamond. Just right left.
I see that Fitz just picked up an Ice 2 with Marl, but I haven't seen how much it costs yet, so we don't know if that's gonna unlock some real good damage yet, but maybe.
Yeah, unfortunately won't see it in this fight. Wow. Laser focused on that sidekick, though. All right, and boss number 1 here, it's Super Slash.
All right.
Ooh. Good damage out of Dark Bomb. Still casting spells. We're not seeing the Scythe come out, but that might also be just because it's Slash, so...
Yeah, indeed. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, PhilosoRay heading into the Omen also. Oh, and Fitz. Yep, everybody's headed to the end. Ooh! Oh! That is 500 damage on a counterattack from Super Slash. So, all right, HunnyDoo is up to this this elevator spot here, which can be a kind of a tricky place to be. There's the fight at the end where you get I think 2 of each different kind of scouter, and that can be a bit of an oh, that's not this one, right?
Yeah,
that's in the Ocean Palace.
That's in the Ocean Palace. So luckily we don't have to deal with that here. There is an eyeball in the middle of that path, though. In that room, you just got to stay out of the middle.
Okay. Yeah, how many? Looks like there's a couple of required hit fights to do in the Black Omen, but a handful of them I also saw runners actually running away from. So how many of these are actually you have no choice, you got to fight this?
Oh my goodness, very few. Very, very, very few.
That's so cool.
Maybe like one that I can absolutely. That there's no way. It's gonna be when phone gets off after the elevator. There's this one with the robots, and you can't run from that one, nor dodge it. But you could run from most everything. Maybe you can't run away from the panels. So the panels are probably also required.
Okay, that's true.
I
was curious if people just did them because it's it's pretty good fight. But
yeah. It really varies. If you super, there is no reason to take anything. You just zoom through. But in this seed we came in, everyone's desperate for levels. I think people are definitely gonna err on the taking more fights so that they can level up.
Oh, there's a. I guess if you missed the rainbow sickle, there's one for sale there. Yeah, it looks like Mega Elixirs for sale at this new shop, and I guess now I understand why Phone just went sick house on selling all of his stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the only things you need to get through.
It's like, okay, yeah, I'll take 20 of these. That sounds good. Yeah, HunnyDoo would take the same path, just dropping everything. Opting for Hyper Ethers and Full Tonics. Which makes sense, I guess, now that I saw the price of that Mega Elixir.
Yeah, they do cost quite a pretty penny.
Oh man, those goons have been dropping speed tabs this entire time.
Yep.
So that goon fight, that really worth your time.
Yep, and it's one of those late game, okay, we're okay to use team things.
15 MP for that Ice 2.
Ooh.
So
okay.
Stronger, not all the way up to the maximum, but pretty good Ice 2.
That's pretty good, and I mean, Fire 2 was 6, Flare was 4. It would be worth trying the anti. See what you're gonna get out of.
That stupid shield. A good dodge from HunnyDoo on all the weird snakes.
Good job. That's a tough one.
Oof. A little bit more of my ignorance showing. I never knew that those things opened and closed their eyes, and that's how you avoided them.
Yes, that is in fact how it's done. It's
that
tricky.
One on the left did not want to. Come on, get tired. Trying to get a look at. There we go. I missed it. I was trying to get a look at the phone's speed levels. They've been juicing speed tabs on everybody this whole time.
Yeah, we might have to get some of that info in post-race commentary.
Okay, so this is the Guardian. Yes.
Guardian,
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Which Phone has plenty of just small area attack moves that are doing pretty good damage.
Yep, it looks like I think it was Dark Bomb that had a pretty good roll on it too.
Yeah, I want to say 15 for that one as well.
Ice 2 should be enough to get that other bit down. Nice job. That Napalm won't harm the Guardian, but that's an easy thing to do. The bits. Alright, what are we getting from this Antipode 2? I'm really curious to see. 2453. For this flag set, that is not bad. It can be hard to crack 3k and damage window.
Ooh, having to use one of those Mega Elixirs there on this Guardian fight. Does have a decent amount of HP to chew through, but...
Yeah, this spot's tough with its 10,500, I think, and then I think the next one is 12k. These last ones are really beefy. Alright, nice job there with Guardian.
Seeing that Ice 2 getting some work over on Fitz's side.
Yeah.
1,200 damage.
Exactly. That Ice 2 is wonderful for wiping the Omen. This perfect. I love one of those that when I water's too. It doesn't have to be fire. Fire's just the most obvious.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, let's see what we got.
Last boss in the back here.
Oh. All right. I mean, that's not what I expected.
All right.
But...
So this is going to be the baby spawn, because we know the elder spawn was in the desert.
So, ooh, yeah. Gonna want to be a little bit careful. Can't use napalm or dark bomb on this one.
Yep. And you won't want to use the counterattack trick, because everyone will get hit, and there's that regular attack.
Okay.
806.
Oh. Maybe it's the Doom Sickle. Like, it has another thing on it.
Yeah, if it had the Doom effect, it would double its damage for every down. So if someone else was... What Gyarando does is its best effects. So effectively, he's got the...
Okay.
And so we don't... Yeah, I was hoping we'd see, like...
Oop.
Nice.
Lavos' sigh.
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah, everybody making their way through. Fitz going through the little snake thing. And these eyeballs.
Yeah, excellent.
Oh, okay. Just barely missed that one.
I think he decided not to. The eyeballs... Oh, if you can get them to close their eyes, it's absolutely faster.
Mm-hmm.
To make you nervous. But yeah, you can run from... I think all of the eyeballs can be run from. They're usually not super worth taking up your sleeve. You know, raid buddy who's... Given there's so much other stuff on the Omen, like, you'll probably just get enough fighting the other things, and they let you use items.
Yeah, I guess if they can run away, then you might as well be able to.
Yeah, right?
So yeah, this Lavo spawn taking a minute for phone. Not a lot of single target damage, a lot of small area, so it seemed like it was going to be, and obviously for bosses after this, it's going to be okay, but this Lavo spawn causing some trouble.
Given the spread of text here, this lava... one of the most annoying bottlenecks.
Yeah, do you think that this boss could be enough of a time sink that a different route would have been the way to go?
Probably not by itself. I suppose probably not by... There's enough... I mean, the other... We haven't... But yeah, he's through, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that wasn't quite as bad as it looked like it was going to be. But I think that is partially because Phone, I think at one point just said, screw it, and started throwing Ice 2 at it.
Yep. All that matters is that you live.
Exactly. Your HP was better than their HP.
Yeah.
All right, Phone up to the last panels.
Mm-hmm. And Fitz
making his way to the end.
Point before the second boss here. That'll be enough.
So yeah, Fitz still with Robo. Have they come across the Terra Arm just yet? Because I also would like to see how that
Yes.
thing is doing.
Fitz picked up the Terra arm in the room with all the eyeballs. Oh.
All right. It's a good sentence, by the way.
Yeah. All right, and HunnyDoo snuck in the back here while we were looking at other screens and is fighting Guardian.
Ooh, yeah. Making quick work of the dungeon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gosh, I've been thinking about all the fights that you actually have to finish, and yeah, I don't think it's very many. I think it's all of the panels and then those couple of robots after the. I think everything else you can at least. And the laser guards outside, I guess, too, if those count.
Oh, sure.
But yeah.
All right, we got Phone fighting Zeal.
There we go.
Big damage from that Dark Bomb.
Mm-hmm. Here comes the halation. Which, luckily, her script, she'll always do halation twice to start the fight, so after the first halation, you don't.
Oh, interesting. Wow, took care of that business, though. Didn't even get to the second one.
Yep. Alright. Here's the menu glitch.
Ooh, nice.
Hit the triangle button. That one is luckily pretty easy compared to some of the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Be on the right frame.
Oh, man. I just noticed that ethers are only healing 9 MP. Drive me insane.
That's no fun.
All right, yeah, here's the Mammon Machine. So this is pretty exciting. It looks like Phone is pretty set to run away with it. Got good gear, doing plenty of damage.
Yeah, 2006. Okay. And then I was wondering if Phone was going to try to one cycle the Mammon.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, that's about what I can. And then if you're not gonna, which worked out, very. It's only got A, so like maybe one more napalm for this.
It is especially funny that they just have the same, practically the same animation. Just here's a half a sphere. Here's another half a sphere. Keep throwing half spheres at you. All right, Fitz is up to those robots.
Yep, that's the one when you have to fight.
HunnyDoo up to the Lavo spawn as well, right behind Phone.
Yep, alright.
So yeah, sorry about the little glitches. We're trying to figure it out, but thankfully, you're still doing a pretty good job otherwise. Gotta look at this face.
Mic work?
Hey. All right, Phone coming up against Queen's the final Zeal here. I'm only mostly familiar with how this works. Looks like just full damage on the face. You don't got to worry about the hands at all.
Yeah, so the deal with the hands is if you hit the hands, they will counterattack you. They won't kill you, but they'll either set your HP or MP to 1. And so generally you don't want to be hitting them because even if you're surviving, it's gonna yeah, so she has 20,000 HP. So typically in the speedrun, switching her to the second script, or she uses on Mist and probably before enough. And it looks like, based on that site skip, we are below 10,000 HP. So.
Oh yeah, this is going pretty quick.
So her timer has been reset. We're not about to see any magic. She will followed by an MP first in the middle. Which, see, I always forget to, but doing the damage.
Yeah, phone has plenty of damage going out every turn here.
Yep. Yeah, that napalm and the dark bomb will do it because it's really like you need 3,300 per cycle to stay ahead of her, more or less. And with the napalm and the dark bomb and all the tabs, that.
And there it is.
GG.
Drop the black mail.
Could have used that before.
Yeah, congratulations to Phone. Official race time is 1:23:36.
That is smoking fast. This was quite the jet seed.
Yeah, and that's not. Yeah, Phone was in the lead. I think got into the Black Omen a little bit faster than everybody else, but wasn't running away with it quite as much as it looked like he was going to be.
Yeah,
we got HunnyDoo coming up pretty close.
Yeah, no, it's been very back and forth until the end. But so this is really still quite the interesting race. Yeah, so I see phone is in usually not able, but I would let but everybody found pieces in different and all of you did some kind of extra stuff like grinding in Geodome. It's been a really interesting a set of twisting paths.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. It looked like there was going to be some divergence, at around the 20-minute mark, but then like PhilosoRay just kind of, flipped a U-turn real quick. It's like, oh, I forgot, I meant to go pick up batteries. I'm gonna head back to Zenith Bridge. Yeah, HunnyDoo tearing through the final bosses as well. I don't think any of our runners are going to have too much trouble.
I can't imagine at this point, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of trying to get through it all as fast as you possibly can. I mean, granted, they don't know that, for all...
For sure.
I guess Fitz has seen everything at this point, coming up against the Lavos spawn, but for as much as PhilosoRay knows, there's going to be something gnarly that...
Yeah. The Antipode 2 is nice. I'm actually really curious. I might download the seed myself later and play with some of these tech values because I'm curious how this Fire 2 compares to this. It's really interesting to me.
Well, and I just saw Robo's Robo Tackle was 12, it looked like.
That's good. That's double. We like that.
So yeah, that I would be interested if like Fire Tackle plus Ice 2 might be a bit of a better Well, I guess if it only matters what's the highest, right? Because it's a lot of multipliers involved.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So like,
So yeah,
Antipode
Antipode
2 is
2.
probably a little better, but against this, a fire tackle and an 2 is like I think it's a solid strategy. And Antipode 2.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, Fitz dealing with this Lavo spawn here. Having to use regular attacks.
Yep. This is it. This is the bottleneck.
Yep. Whew. Accidentally took a shot at the shell.
Oh, happens to the best of us, but
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry. It doesn't feel good.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, gosh. I'm gonna try to revive. I'm gonna reset.
I don't blame Fitz for trying to bring him back, because damage output was going pretty slow with those regular attacks.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily want to give that up again. HunnyDoo taking on the final boss, throwing hastes around.
Not a bad call. I think that HunnyDoo is probably haste will make it way more comfortable. I don't see any problem.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what this Robo can do.
Yeah, what we got here, like.
Okay, keeping him on healing. It looks like.
Makes sense.
That was the interesting benefit to phone setup. Is it wasn't a double tech, but it was two characters with really strong single target techs.
Right, exactly.
Which meant phone was doing closer to about 4,000 damage per turn versus HunnyDoo's 3. I mean, HunnyDoo's functionally invincible though, with heal beam going out all the time.
Yeah, indeed, and with haste up, probably the damage faster. Pick up a.
Yeah, they were both small AOE, but with this fight, thankfully, not big enough to hit the hands.
Yep. All right. Here's the dark gear, but this is a lot of HP. Like Luca had the and she's fine. So, all right, but you definitely want to. Dark gear's one thing, but Hexman. This will do that. So she's gonna use next. And I know everyone's got. No, there's two. I think there was one from a boss or something.
Yeah, you could also purchase them at the new shop, but I'm not sure if I saw anybody take advantage of that, because 50,000, or was it 50,000 or 500,000?
It's 50,000, which of course is still quite expensive. You do that if you don't have, but if you've already got a couple. Robo tackle. That is a great robo tackle.
And that's the last we'll see of it. Oh, that blue rock, not a terrible accessory if you happen to have...
Oh, yeah, does it have bonuses on it? I mean...
Yeah, it had the power seal bonus, it looked like.
We've got Team Blue Rock. GG to HunnyDoo, finishing with 130-40.
Ending it with a Robo Punch.
Yeah. Right, Fitz starting on the first version of Queen Zeal.
Okay, we'll see how Fitz uses the Robo Party here. Hey, I get to see my fire tackle.
Yeah, here we go.
$32.50.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, that plus the ice too.
Yeah, for sure. Against
Cleaned
Zeal,
right through.
yeah, against Zeal 2, you might go with maybe.
Yeah, might not work.
Because Marl's Ice 2. Yeah. Yeah, this is a real jet seed.
Oh yeah.
I definitely recommend. It was a wild time. Yeah, I'm curious what the Anti-3 would do, and I say that because, you know, I know spells are scaled by their MP, but Flair's starting value.
Oh.
Fire. Oh, maybe still be in this case, but I'm not sure. So that's the fun of this mode for sure.
Yeah, that would be interesting because it still gives you that formula. I want to say I saw it for Flair earlier. It was like level. I want it was like mag plus 6. Level times mag plus 6.
Yeah, gosh.
But Fitz also going through with Antipode 2 here.
Mm-hmm. Right, we are through Mammon Machine. PhilosoRay is having, you know, not a good time with Lava's Spawn, which is about as typical with that boss.
Yeah, this one's a jerk.
Yeah, this is not a fun spot for the baby.
Oh, just needed that one last shot.
Ooh, beautiful. Only hit point that matters is the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way it's done.
I just noticed 255 tech points for that fight.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So Fitz is on to Zeal 2.
Oh, here we go.
Gonna go with re-raise, looks like. Oh, nope, never mind, that was haste. So yeah, Fitz utilizing Robo Tackle has been also getting a billion speed tabs in this climb up to the Black Omen, so is not worrying too much about hanging on to a character to do a double tech.
Yeah,
which does kind of make sense. Like I wonder, I would have liked to have seen the damage output of replacing Marl with Magus, because then you have 3 single target moves that are doing almost 2k each.
Yeah, that's true. That would be really interesting to see. That ice tackle's nice. 3,100.
Yeah, not a lot of wrong answers in this seed.
Yeah, there hasn't been anything that's been, you know, overwhelming, but it hasn't been awful. You know, some can get pretty tough.
Yeah, like the Rainbow Sickle didn't really turn out to be a huge thing, but Magus is doing totally fine. Like that Dark Bomb is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm glad we got that Dark Bomb. If you're gonna have somebody doing regular attacks, Magus probably wouldn't be your first choice.
That's true.
Here comes that Halation and the Mega Elixir. PhilosoRay chips away at Zeal 1. That should do it.
So also getting the menu glitch.
Nice job.
And Fitz.
GG.
GG's to Fitz, taken down.
Wonderful.
16 Hyper Ethers.
That's with a time of 1:37:45. That is still a fantastic time.
And PhilosoRay not too far behind. Probably, I would say, maybe 2 minutes away from finishing up.
Yep, depending on how these fights go, but we're about there.
So yeah, this group not throwing out, not using the Antipode 2 with this crew, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It looks like we are joined in the booth by OneFreeFitz. GG's.
Welcome.
Hello. GG.
Okay, so
Oh.
what? Tell me what was your darkest moment during that scene? What was your?
Okay, like, it was definitely getting greedy with eye orbs and wiping to eye orbs and then having to redo a ton of, the front of Black Omen. Because I got Ice 2, which was the whole reason that I did eye orbs, and then I didn't really need any other attacks, except for kind of Robo Tackle. I was looking for that, but I should have just trusted it, and then I messed it up, and I was like, okay. And then just kind of, I think in hindsight, there was some weird stuff going on where like none of the big magic rolled very well except for the late Ice 2. Uzi Punch was terrible, but I had the Wonder Bow and like the counter Wonder Bow. It was kind of rocking, and I was like, what if I didn't do any of the safe grinding stuff that I feel like I need to do when I got go mode so early, and just like leaned into this and see what happened at the end. I don't know if it would have worked out because Omen would have been very slow to get through without really having good magic. I was already slow until I got Ice 2 unlocked, but yeah, darkest moment. Getting greedy on the eye orbs for no reason, but pure greed and wiping.
Greed gets the better of all of us in these situations. But overall, it was a great run. I mean, oh my gosh, I think as commentators we knew about go mode prior to 20 minutes in.
Yep.
And I think it might have been about at 20 minutes in the first stumbled on it, and then everybody else pretty quick behind that. Like, it was not a long beginning, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think the latest one was PhilosoRay, who just basically ended up doing the same as everybody. Like, everybody kind of did a lot of the same stuff. It was just slight variations. Just did the pendant first and then went to back to Zen and Bridge, but
yeah, so it didn't really make a difference.
Yeah, so it was really fun watching everybody in the beginning just be like, oh god, I hope he goes to Zen and Bridge.
Yeah, because I could definitely see getting the gate key from the Robo check as a first one and then going in like some other direction that was not do Hecarim and basically nothing, almost nothing. Like, it was for sure the oh no mode where I was like, oh no, I only have like kind of weird stuff going on. For whatever reason, I didn't see Napalm was so powerful until like I might have sat on that for like 20, 30 minutes perhaps before I was like, oh, it's 20? That's pretty strong.
Yep, sounds good. Ooh, there's a hex mist coming out.
Uh-oh.
But we might live it. Well, one. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Re-race.
Not the end of the world. I haven't caught a glimpse of the sight scope, so I don't know where we're at. Okay, there's the halation.
Okay.
There's the halation.
So yeah, I guess I'm still a little bit on the learning phase of this. When you do end up in that almost like immediate go mode, sort of where is your like first instinct to try to go to after that? As I was saying, that PhilosoRay sadly takes a wipe to Zeal 2.
Yeah, Zeal 2 can be tough.
Yep.
I would say it would depend on which go mode, because like both the sword go mode and the like prehistory go mode have very nice grind spots in Ocean Palace. So for those, my thoughts is like, what's the least I need to grind to get to there? Versus the Black Omen go mode was more of like, I know there's this many levels and techs available in that path, especially if like I don't run from a couple of the like optional ones. But I was like, that's not enough. So that's why I was like, I'm gonna clear the desert. Maybe I get a Robo Ribbon. That's what I was hoping for. So it's like, that would be some good power. And it's at least some levels. And then I did a conveyor belt because I was worried about really like Marl never getting magical damage.
Yeah, that ice 2 couldn't have come at a better time, I think, in the seed. Well, it could have, because it could have come earlier, but
I mean, yeah.
It couldn't have been worse, huh? I mean, like, that was a time. I think most started getting it as and it speed things.
But yeah, I think fun time. There's a lot of power. We added some more of the like kind of variety flags to show off. Just a lot of the different, I think, flavors of shuffling things around. This is probably on the lower end in terms of a time estimate, I would say. Obviously, from the very fast go mode.
It's true. This is the real jet seed, and tech damage rando is something that can slow you down a bit because you just often don't have the same numbers that you would normally.
So I would say, yeah, like we always like vet for like an estimate ahead of time with these. So yeah, I think it's good in a marathon setting. We've had some like fun incentives around having like many of a favorite character to get even kind of weirder with it. But yeah, I'll throw it back to the comms team to cheer on our last runner on stream, and thanks for the restream and for doing commentary.
And thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you for running. And speaking of, we have PhilosoRay taking out the Mammon Machine again.
Yep, just dumping damage on it, and has also cast re-raise on this stored energy release. Could hit for quite a bit because he's hit them and lived through. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is very handy. And yeah, I like this strategy. You know, when you're a little bit behind because you just got to wipe. playing substantially more aggressively when you go back into it can be really fun. Kind of help you realize, like, oh, I'm actually pretty tough.
Mm-hmm. It usually sheds some light on something. You can usually find a way forward.
All right, round 2 against the face.
Yep. Time to get revenge.
Face revenge.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll see if PhilosoRay changes up their strategy at all. Last time it was mostly just bad timing. Didn't have the right stuff queued up at the right times, and took a couple of finger lasers right after halation. But this time, lots of speed.
Yeah. We're starting, since the Mammon Machine, interestingly, since the Mammon Machine did a lot of damage but didn't actually kill anyone, possibly the characters would have started this fight with more hit points had they been revived, because it's all based on their magic stat, and this party doesn't have anything to worry about, for sure, but, well, with 4 Mega Elixir, take them...
Yeah.
It's... And you... like... But yeah, for this fight, really, there's that really clutch moment to use a Mega Elixir after the halation. That's the most important one. If you've got more, use them whenever you want. Seriously. You'll probably be okay. Dark Gear.
It's a scary move, but it's pretty easy to mitigate it. The problem is more whatever happens afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Oh, see, just use your megas. It's fine. I promise. I promise. It's the last fight.
It took me a good 3 years of doing this before I finally went like, okay, no, I'll sell this elixir.
Yeah.
Like it took me a while to even get to that point. So I understand.
Yeah, it's so hard. But okay,
definitely want to, like, item healing can be the best way to go for whatever your team party makeup might be.
Yeah, no, especially in Chrono Trigger, if you've got the right stuff, then you can pretty much run whatever party you want offensively and not worry about your, like, having a spread heal on somebody.
Right. And like the full tonics are going to, at worst, heal half of your HP. So even the stuff that isn't that expensive,
it's true. Yeah,
it'll work.
All right, and at this point, you just gotta go dump damage faster than she can.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 3861.
I think this is gonna do it.
This should this next one, yeah.
And there we go. GG's to PhilosoRay.
GG. That is going to be a minute and 50, or an hour 50 and 43 seconds. Whoops. I meant 2 G's in chat. I'm sorry. There we go. GG.
Good.
Yes. No, that was fantastic. What an interesting seed that was.
Yeah, that was really cool. Like, knowing right away where you're supposed to go. It's like, nope, the door's open. I mean, there's something real nasty on the other side of it, but the door's open. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a wild one, and I hope everyone has enjoyed seeing tech damage rando, which really, you have to think of a lot of alternate strategies. It's a really fun and interesting flat.
Yeah, and it was, I think the most interesting part of it to me too was we saw both of the different, like, schools of thought around it too, right? Like, we had 2 players who were using double techs, and they had their third character in the wings to heal, or maybe they would switch up which double tech they were using. And then we had the other two runners who were just using all of the really good single target text. And it kind of worked out good for both of them.
Yeah, it did work either way. It was very it was one of those jets make up those the be so that was a good one.
That was excellent. So yeah, thank you very much for having me. Thank you, Lord Batsy, for doing commentary with me.
And likewise to Turdsman for being my co-commentator, and thank you to Drinks Glue for restreaming us, and our racers, of course, OneFreeFitz, Phone, PhilosoRay, and HunnyDoo. Thank you, everybody.
And you, the viewer.
Yes,
For watching.
you most of all.
Part at the end of the credits. And you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. We're all about that. Yeah, if you'd like to try out Jets of Time, absolutely come check out our website, www.ctjot.com. There's a link to the Discord there too. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, and I think if there's anything else.
I think we might be about ready to say goodnight.
Well, all right. You have a good night then.
All right, everybody have a good night and a lovely holiday if you have a holiday weekend this weekend. And if not, still have a great Monday.